Hi, my fellow target individuals of patriotic Americans. I am doing this update status video to tell you how I've been doing and some real talk. I'm not feeling good today, and I don't know why. I got a good night's sleep last night. One. Number two, I've been eating healthy. Number three, I've been getting outside and doing exercise. This really pisses me off. I know that they're trying to hypnotize me. My friend who's a psychologist who told me I was autistic when I don't even think she was in a professional state of mind to diagnose me. She was a little bit too personal and biased, I think, and she's also a Christian. And I don't know if she can tolerate and understand people who are not religious and come from religious backgrounds that are way different than her. What a Luciferian views as insane versus insane is different than what a Christian thinks is mentally ill versus what's mentally healthy. And I'm a Luciferian and pagan. I'm not a Christian like she is. I have very different views on what sane is versus what it isn't. And Christians do too, and that's because Christianity, but any religion, is biased and dogmatic, and it does break down an objective view of reality in your head, and it makes you want to, with confirmation bias, have everything revolve around you and your religious beliefs, and have everything you believe and think is true to be validated, when that's not the case. That's called chauvinism, narcissism, and projection, and Christians are masters at this. I hate Christians. They project their own narcissism and chauvinism onto us Luciferians, even Satanists and pagans. And that is one of their flaws of their religion and their personality that causes them to gravitate and more prone to practice and believe in the bullshit of their religion. The difference between us Luciferians and pagans is that we have no confirmation bias. And that's because our religions are more scientific and critical thinking based rather than blind faith and hope based that Christians and Muslims are. She thinks that I have something that MK Ultra survivors have, like Kathy O'Brien and others. Jana's programming. When I believe and think the way I think based off of objective observation, based off of a scientific nuts and bolts worldview, based on the laws of physics, scientific method, common sense, and critical thinking skills. And I know from looking back in history that stuff that actually exists in history and exists in the world today, that there will always be good and evil fighting each other. There will always be good people. Insane people, I consider being a good person the most sane thing you can be. And I consider evil to be the most insane thing that you can be. Because evil destroys everything, it's irrational, it doesn't care about keeping a civilization together. Evil's just a fucking plague, a mental illness that destroys everything. That's what immorality evil is. To me, and to science at least. And I hate evil, and I have the right to hate evil because I'm a moral and responsible person. And that's my moral and responsible right as an adult human being and a patriotic American citizen to hate and fight evil. And the United States Constitution gives me the Second Amendment right to defend myself and others, because the Second Amendment isn't just protecting yourself. It's not about being a selfish prick and only protecting yourself while letting the bad guys kill everybody else around you. That's a sick mindset. That means that you're no different than the bad guys, because you view yourself as having more rights to life, that you only practice your Second Amendment rights as an American citizen to protect yourself while you let everybody else get shot and murdered. That's an evil fucking thing to do. And it's also an irresponsible thing to do. You as an American citizen have the right and responsibility to protect others, to help others, do right by others. Not just yourself. The Second Amendment is not just about yourself. It's about others as well. And I'm sick and tired of a lot of these selfish, chauvinistic, narcissistic personality types talk about the Second Amendment and say, oh, you only have the right to defend yourself, you don't have the right to defend others. That's bullshit. And that is a misinterpretation of the United States Constitution. When it says that you have the right to defend yourself, well, your family is an extension of yourself. They are part of your life and an important part of your life. And you are responsible for protecting your family and your friends' lives just as much as you are responsible for protecting yourself. And there is a golden rule that even extraterrestrials have to obey, because it's a universal concept. And that is, do unto others that you would want done unto yourself. And I don't like it when people say you have to be a soldier or a police officer to serve and defend others, and you need permission from a government, from that person to do so. No, you don't. You only have your common sense and God, which isn't the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible, Jehovah, Yahweh, is not the true God, nor is Lucifer the true God. Don't fucking worship Lucifer. Lucifer didn't create the universe. The universe itself is God. The universe is God. The universe gives you permission by the time you're born, since you exist, you're a reality, to defend yourself from anything that could destroy you. And that's ever since you're born, came out of your mom's vagina. You don't need another person's permission to do things that are the rights, the birthrights of all sentient, intelligent life forms in the universe. But Christians would say, oh, you need permission from the government because they think the government's ordained by God. When our government in America is a secular government, it's not a theocracy. We don't need the President of the United States of America's permission, like the Pope's permission, to do anything. We have the right by the universe, who's the true creator, to do whatever the United States Constitution says is an inalienable right. And the Founding Fathers were not Christians. They were Satanists, pagans, Luciferians. Some of them were Jews. And Freemasons. They even had a Hellfire Club. If you don't know what the Hellfire Club is, then you really are a fucking idiot. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. The Hellfire Club. And and you can even type in Hellfire Club founding of the United States of America. You'll see a lot of our founding fathers and their great allies were in the Hellfire Club. They're trying to hypnotize me right now. I am going to get microwave readings on my head to prove that I'm being hypnotized and being hit. They're trying to hypnotize me to be sleepy. And there's no reason for why I should feel like this. And I feel like there's something squeezing my head. $1.07. That's proof that I'm being hit with a microwave direct energy weapon. Because my friend that I disagree with, she says one of her friends that is an expert in this kind of stuff says if you get over 0.13 microwaves per centimeter squared, that is evidence that you're being hit with something. And I feel like I am. $1.33. $2.20. $1.55. $1.10. $1.82. I'm being hit dramatically right now. $1.59. That's enough evidence for one day. I'm also pissed off at my psychologist friend who's an old woman. I'm not going to say her name. Because she thinks my religious beliefs are a mental disorder that has been induced on me by MK Ultra mind control called Janus programming, when it's not. It's my actual, by my own free will, religious beliefs. And my knowledge of how reality works is called contention in an ontological view of reality. And that God is the entire universe. It's not Jehovah, Yahweh. It's not a man. It's not a man. The universe doesn't have a vagina. It doesn't have boobs. It don't have that. It's not a human being. I'm a human being. I didn't create the universe. Neither did anything that looks like me created the universe. That is a fucking narcissistic personality disorder, projecting your image and likeness upon the universe, thinking the universe revolves around you by worshiping a god that looks like a fucking human. That's why I hate Christians, Jews, and Muslims, and a lot of religions in the world. I hate humanity projecting its consciousness out on the supreme consciousness which is the true God that created everything, the universe, thinking that everything revolves around human beings, humanists, and that the entire universe is like one giant human, when that's not the case. There are extraterrestrial beings. I'm going to get my tablet and show you all kinds of the different shit that are outside of our little world called planet Earth and outside of our species called Homo sapiens, humanity. And let me show you humans, my fellow human beings, that want to think that God has a vagina or a dick and is a Homo sapien. I'll show you that you're wrong and go fuck yourself for being a narcissistic, chauvinistic piece of shit, projecting your fucking humanness on the universe. Especially if you're a fucking Christian that thinks that evil dick called Jehovah created everything. That insults a scientist like mine. I'm an amateur scientist, intelligence. If anybody told me that a God that created the universe was a human-looking life form or was a human with superpowers that created the universe that had a dick or a vagina or both, I tell them to go fuck themselves. That is not right. You see these extraterrestrials? You see them? You see these? These things exist. I do research in UFOs and extraterrestrials. And these evil extraterrestrials that like to kill and eat us humans were also created by the same God that created us, which was the universe. The universe created these beings. Just like it created us. This is why Christianity, Judaism, and most religions are bullcrap. And that's why heaven and hell is also bullcrap, because the universe keeps on spitting different types of life forms out of its ass. The universe keeps on creating different types of things. Like this. And it also creates endless good and evil to fight and kill each other because it does this shit. The universe is like a giant mad scientist / petri dish, and everybody within it is its own lab rats. You see these extraterrestrials, they were also created by God, creator universe, and these things are hostile towards humans as well. And God keeps on popping these shit out of its ass. Universe keeps making these things poop out of the worm, the woodwork, the wormwood of reality. Too, because God allows these extraterrestrials to exist because it won't kill it. The universe won't kill and make these extraterrestrials go extinct. That means they have the right to life, even if they are evil, scary pieces of shit. For the most part. There is some good greys out there, but most of them very evil. And God makes these fuckers too, and these fuckers kill and eat us. God, creator universe, creates extraterrestrials that choose by their own free will as a species to kill and eat us. Meaning they have the rights to life as we do, even if they take our life, and the universe won't make something that will make these extraterrestrials go extinct, make their entire species cease to exist. God, creator universe, if it thinks that a species doesn't have the right to exist, you know what the universe does? It does the same thing that happened to the dinosaurs that makes them go extinct. And these extraterrestrial beings, they have not went extinct in billions of fucking years being in the universe. And I think it's even trillions. Yeah, the universe doesn't want to kill these aliens, these reptilians. Because it hasn't killed them in trillions of fucking years. Yet it made the dinosaurs go extinct when the dinosaurs were in millions of years of evolution. Yet it lets these things continue to evolve and not go extinct, not go kaput, not exist anymore. This is what I get pissed off about, too. That these fucking things that exist, continue to exist, and nothing in the universe will make their entire species go extinct. Like, by a snap of the finger, just make their entire evil extraterrestrial asses go extinct. I hate the universe. I hate our God, because our God lets these things exist. And God also created these things, and these things actually helped to create us humans. Us humans were created by extraterrestrial beings that were created by these extraterrestrial beings. These extraterrestrial beings, these feline extraterrestrials, they are responsible for creating a lot of the humanoid life forms in our galaxy and universe. These extraterrestrials like to make mammalian-based species like themselves. These are our grandparents. Great-great-grandparent species. We have a sliver of their DNA and likeness. They also are mammalians like us. They give birth to their young, and they live a little bit like us humans. Some of them eat meat because they evolved from obligate carnivores, even though some of them evolved to be omnivores and even vegetarians. These are good guys, even though there's some bad guys. There's some bad, evil, feline extraterrestrials, and they're fascists. They're like Nazis, like the German Nazis. And these feline extraterrestrials have been fighting the Alpha Draconians for billions of years. And these feline extraterrestrials, being as strong and powerful as they are with their psychic abilities, their superhuman strength and everything, even they can't kill all the Alpha Draconian extraterrestrials. That's how powerful the Alpha Draconian extraterrestrials are. They're not even these big, bad feline extraterrestrials that evolved from the universe's most powerful apex predators can't fucking kill the Alpha Draconians. The Alpha Draconians and these feline aliens, they're like gods and titans. Because of how ferocious both species are when Alpha Draconians and feline aliens fight each other, it's like gods fighting each other. Because they're so intelligent and they have so much sophisticated technology that when they fight each other, entire planets can be blown up and trillions of species can go extinct. These are very powerful extraterrestrials. And if you ever see one of these, you to respect this. Respect these extraterrestrials if you encounter them in real life, because it doesn't matter if it's a good or evil one, they're very powerful. You should think of them like as kings or queens. And just don't attack one of these. And I don't know why you want to attack something that is as cute and beautiful, majestic looking as this. I would fucking embarrass myself to both humanity and the extraterrestrials if I tried to fight and kill something this powerful and beautiful. I'll be saying off limits, nobody try to fight these good guys. Most of them are good guy extraterrestrials. And the evil ones, well, if you ever know what fighting and trying to fight and kill a puma, a big cat, is like, and how horrible it is to try to hunt down and kill a cheetah or a lion in the wild. Well, these feline extraterrestrials that evolved from big cats, they have the intelligence that you have, the thumbs that you have, and the technology, the guns that you have, but even more advanced, and they evolved from those big cats, meaning you basically are fucked and very cooked if you try to fight against one of these. Also, if you do the Alpha Draconians too, that's not going to be easy either. So respect the extraterrestrials when you confront an extraterrestrial that is this or the Alpha Draconians, or you're just going to get what you deserve from being that stupid. And this is why the universe is not a human being, why human beings are not the center of the universe, because the universe creates these things. It creates extraterrestrials that evolved from, that the universe created from different types of creatures like reptilians, felines, and whatever the fucking greys are. The greys are either the evolved humans or they're robots, from what I've learned about them. And then these extraterrestrials exist. Well, this wasn't the result that I wanted. Nope. There are dog extraterrestrials in real life that look like werewolves. These things exist in real life. Werewolves exist. Vampires also exist too. Werewolves are human-dog hybrids, but they're also dog extraterrestrials that look like werewolves. There are canine extraterrestrials that exist in real life, and there are human-dog hybrids that exist in real life too. An advanced race of human beings splitted their DNA with genetic engineering with dog DNA and turned into werewolves. They don't exist as much today because they've been hunted down and they like to stay away from humans because human beings killed them. But these were a reality. These things are also a reality. These things are human extraterrestrial hybrids and they exist in real life. See? The vampire. They are hybrids between humans and terrestrial vampire bats. Or they're hybrids between human beings and extraterrestrial vampire bat. Or vampire bat extraterrestrials. And they drink blood, yes, but they don't drink always human blood. Most of them drink animal blood. And they are sensitive to sunlight. They're nocturnal. They're sensitive to sunlight because of their circadian rhythm makes them live in darkness, the night. And they need more darkness than werewolves need. Vampires are the epitome of a sentient being that needs darkness to survive in. It's where vampires are so used to the darkness of the night and where their circadian rhythm makes them go into the darkness of the night. Where they're nocturnal, that being out in the sun isn't something they're used to. Even though some of them have evolved to be like human beings and can go out in the sunlight and don't get as sick from it as other vampires. Real life vampires don't die from sunlight by being burnt to death or anything like that. Vampires don't die from garlic or holy crosses. Actually, many of them like garlic and herbs. Because they're omnivores where they're human vampire bat hybrids, they still have the human side to them, the Homo sapien side to them, and therefore they're able to still eat and even need to eat the same things that human beings eat, like fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. But yeah, real life vampires do exist, and there's some real life vampires that are reptilian human hybrids who also have the same characteristics that vampires have. I call them the two types of hybrid vampires, vampire bat extraterrestrial or vampire bat human hybrids, and then there's vampires that are human reptilian hybrids that have the snake things, the reptilian things and stuff like that. Yeah, God is not a human being, and God creates vampires and werewolves, nocturnal beings that can survive at night and are nocturnal as well. Meaning God has a dark side. No bullshit on that. That's common sense considering God is the universe. A lot of the universe is darkness, so why not the universe create things that exist in darkness like vampires and werewolves and nocturnal cat beings too? That just makes a lot of sense. And look at the forest right here. The forest also has some darkness too. Even in the daytime you get dark places like this. And this isn't even a black forest or a dark forest at all. This forest is actually very bright and even dry in the summertime and fall time and sometimes even in the springtime. And I know because I went out in this forest. And there's forests in Germany that when you're in them you feel like you're going from daytime to evening time or nighttime because how dark they are. And if you want to know more about vampires, you can go and look up my playlist on YouTube that I have. As a short playlist with this man who does the same research that I do, that I listen to. He is my teacher who got me into UFO and extraterrestrial research and parapsychology and paranormal research. He's the one that basically, okay, here he is. Ramhotep Vampire Collection. That's what this is. Go look at it. Ramhotep. He's a cult whistleblower and spiritual leader. Or spiritual teacher. I should just call him teacher, but I guess leader isn't too bad of the word. Go and look up this playlist if you want to know what real life vampires are like. I also got another playlist with him and other stuff in it. Go look up his playlist to learn other things. 13 Signs Astrology Explained. 13 Signs playlist. If you want to learn more about extraterrestrials, look at this playlist that I made. UFO, extraterrestrials, TI, and alternative technology research. Trying to find my other playlist that I have him in. I think it's up here somewhere. And this is the kind of stuff that I know and believe to be true because of all the knowledge that I've done research on. I even went down David Wilcock and Drake Bailey stuff. Where the fuck is this playlist that I had? I'm sorry about that. I accidentally pressed a button that I shouldn't have pressed on my phone. I'll put it down in the comment section. This thing I'm trying to find. Yep, and also this is what I believe in. I believe in and practice Taoism or Taoism. This is what I know to be true. Even science can verify this. Taoism or Taoism is a diverse philosophical and religious tradition indigenous to China. China emphasizing harmony with the Tao, Wei, the Gao's Tao, with a range of meaning in Chinese philosophy. Translations of Tao include way, road, path, or technique, generally understood in Taoist sense as an enigmatic process of transformation, ultimately underlying reality. Taoist thought has informed development of various practices within the Taoist tradition and beyond, including forms of meditation, astrology, Qigong, Feng Shui, and eternal alchemy. The common goal of the Taoist practice is self-cultivation, a deeper appreciation of the Tao, and more harmonious existence. Taoist ethics vary, but generally emphasize such virtues of effortless action, naturalness, simplicity, and the free treasures of compassion, frugality, and humility. And also know this to be true. Dualism. I know this to be true about the universe. The entry concerns dualism in philosophy of mind. The term dualism has a variety of uses in the history of thought. In general, the idea is that for a particular domain there are two fundamental kinds of categories of things or principles. In theology, for example, a dualist is someone who believes in good and evil. I believe in good and evil, or I know good and evil to be true, or God and the devil. I don't believe in God or the devil. I just know the universe lasts forever, and the universe is God, and God has a dark side, which you can call the devil, but I just call it God's dark side or evil side, villain side, villain persona. And that the universe gave all sentient intelligent beings like human beings and the extraterrestrials that I showed you the free will to be good or evil, and since the universe will last forever and make life happen forever, that also means there will always be good and evil forever, and the fight between good and evil forever, because there will be endless sentient intelligent life forms that will choose to be good or evil and fight each other over those differences forever. Are independent and more or less equal forces in the world. Dualism contrasts with monism, which is a theory that there is only one fundamental kind, category, thing, or principle, and rather less commonly with pluralism, which is the view that there are many kinds of categories. I kind of believe in pluralism as well, because there's so much variety out there of different types of life forms and the polarity of worlds, astrobiology, extraterrestrial life, and there's also various shades of gray when it comes to morality and what you need to do to survive and be a responsible, sentient, intelligent life form in the universe, created by the universe. In philosophy of mind, dualism is the theory that a mental and the physical, or mind or body, or mind and brain, are in some sense radically different kinds of things, because the common sense tells us that there are physical bodies, and because there is an intellectual pressure towards a unified view of the world, one could say that materialist monism is a default option. Discussion about dualism therefore tends to start the assumption that reality of the physical world, and then to consider arguments for why the mind cannot be treated as simply a part of that world. And I'm not reading this entire article, but I was just reading that first bit of it in order for you to understand what dualism means. And I mix dualism with Taoism. I believe in and practice the metaphysical dualism right there. Metaphysical dualism. My dualism is metaphysical and scientific because I see how the law of polarity, how it makes infinite opposites that attract, usually not in a good way, because good and evil causes people to kill each other over ethics, what's right and wrong due to another person, shit like that. And also Hot and cold air makes tornadoes, which also kill people. Cold and hot makes cold and hot air that become tornadoes and kill a lot of people in life. You see, this is why my religious beliefs are not even religious beliefs, they're scientific facts. The law of polarity and dualism is a scientific fact. Tornado forms from a large thunderstorm where warm, humid air rises and interacts with cold air. See the opposites? Warm, cold, cool, cold. Creating spinning air currents inside the cloud. This process is influenced by the wind conditions where air rising and the thunderstorms can begin to spin due to winds blowing in different directions. Additionally, the formation involves combination of atmospheric conditions including warm and cold air interaction, wind shear, and instability within the atmosphere. And my friend who called me an autistic person and thinks that I've been MK'd to think that there is either good or evil or sane or insane in the world. Because she's a Christian, she thinks everything's good. She thinks God's good, that God is a man, Jehovah Yahweh. She believes in Jesus, Yeshua, and not fucking religious bullshit. No. That's not the case. That is scientifically incorrect about reality. The God of the Bible, Jehovah Yahweh, was an evil extraterrestrial called Enlil that wanted to brainwash humanity into thinking he's God in order for them to become his slaves and the slaves of his evil extraterrestrial species called the Elohim Anunnaki. And Jesus Christ was a genetically modified human being that had the DNA modifications of these extraterrestrials that he partially was be put into him. There's nothing special about Jesus Jehovah. There's nothing special about the Jews, Hebrew Israelites. There's nothing special about Jehovah Yahweh and his angels. There's nothing. They're just were fucking extraterrestrials that invaded planet Earth. The universe is God. And yes, there is infinite good and evil that will fight each other for infinity and eternity. And that's a scientific fact. Even billions of years from now, there will still be people killing each other, and there will still be tornadoes, cold and air currents fighting each other, making tornadoes and hurricanes. Get the fuck over it. The universe causes. It's the God that makes and causes good and evil, cold and hot, darkness and light, and that's how it's always going to be, and how it's always been. That's reality. I'm more sane than this psychologist who's a Christian, because I don't have a Christianity as a bias. I'm not brainwashed into thinking something about the world that isn't true. And this is why I hate psychologists that are Christians, Muslims, and Jews, because Islam, Judaism, and Christianity are the most chauvinistic, narcissistic, and delusional religions on the face of the earth. That they actually think that a man created the universe. One fucking man created the universe. Get the fuck out of here. But if you're Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, God Almighty, Utmost High, Alpha, Omega, beginning, and crap. The universe is the Alpha, Omega, beginning, and end, and it's not a man. It don't have a penis. It don't have a vagina. It's not a woman either. The universe is God. It's an infinite, vast network of consciousness And our souls and spirits are consciousness, and we reincarnate all over again, forever, just to have an experience. And reincarnation is a natural part of the universe. And it's not the way Hindus or Buddhists think. Actually, we progress when we reincarnate. If you're an evil person, you'll progress by being a good person or even more powerful evil person in your next life. If you're a good person like me, when you reincarnate, you either progress by becoming an even better person in the next life, or by being a more powerful person, even if you have to be evil. And that's what Cliff High talks about on his YouTube channel. I'll show you what he looks like. You can go to his YouTube channel, be taught things. My friend Maja Mastorik shared Cliff High's videos with me, and I've been watching them for about 2 or 3 years now. This guy, he's right about a lot of things, and he's right about Christianity being a bullshit religion. And Judaism, Islam, most religions of the world are bullshit, because they're all Elohim Anunnaki worship. They're all worshiping evil extraterrestrials, calling them different names. I got to get busy today on the garden, and I have to go outside to make myself feel better, because they're trying to hypnotize me again. That my friend told me that they're hypnotizing me, that I don't agree with, because she thinks I'm autistic. And also, number 2, she thinks I've been brainwashed to think a certain way or believe certain thing about reality when I'm not been brainwashed. I'm just more intelligent than she is at things. And I know that her religion and her religious beliefs are a complete bullshit. They have no weight to them. Actually, religions that are the Far East religions that believe in reincarnation and karma, they're more validated by science, and they're more peaceful than Christianity is. And I have the right to disagree with my friend. I have the right to agree to disagree. I don't have Janus programming. And I don't have autism. I have not been MK Ultra by anybody to have Janus programming. And if she thinks that the way I believe the thing about the world is a MK Ultra thing, then she should probably talk it to the evangelical Christians who believe in good and evil, that are in a Janus programming style format mindset, because they think good and evil is the factors that govern the universe. They think that God and the devil exist, and they think the world needs to end in order for all the evil that Satan the devil makes. Yes, she should go to the evangelical Christians and tell them that they have MK Ultra Janus programming, and that right there is just their religious beliefs making them believe that thing. She should go to Buddhists who believe in yin and yang, that they've been programmed with Janus programming too. And I'm not mentally insane for believing in or thinking or knowing that good and evil will always exist, that opposites will always exist forever and for all eternity. And I'm not going to feel mentally insane about it. Actually, it's the most sane and most logical, common sense view of reality to know that good and evil, immorality, objective immorality versus objective morality, and objective morality versus objective immorality will be fighting each other forever, because extraterrestrial beings and human beings, terrestrials, extraterrestrials, humans and non-humans, have free will, and many of them don't care and don't know what right and wrong is, don't know what good and evil is, and that's why a lot of them will choose to be evil and murder, rape, steal, enslave, and eat other sentient intelligent life forms, even in their own species. And it will always be this way. I'm not going to be a fucking moron, be delusional, think that all the universe is going to be heaven, everything's going to be peachy and creamy, there won't even be 30% of tyranny and evil in the universe that will continue to exist forever. I'm not going to believe that 100% of the universe is going to become an egalitarian utopia that's going to be magical and be unicorns and rainbows and shit like that. I know that there's always going to be real life hell, not the Christian hell. Real life horrible shit that's going to be happening forever and ever and ever till the end of time. I know there's going to be evil, tyranny, and the fucking dystopia, hell on any planet, underworld on any planet, that's going to happen until the end of time. That part of the universe, which is God, will always be a fucking nightmare, a real life nightmare, a real life horror story till the end of time. And my soul has been hardened to and acknowledges to deal with all the monsters and horrors that happen in real life. I have to go and do some chores and do other stuff that I need to do, like go and watch Cliff High stuff and Roy E. Cup stuff. My friend Roy E. Cups as well. I need to look at his stuff too, not just Cliff High. Because I learned from these great old men. These are some really intelligent old men that know a lot of things about the world. And I need to look at their stuff. I need to study a lot. Roy E. Cup stuff. Look at his stuff. I'm going to go. Talk to you later. Take care and have a good afternoon. Or whatever time of day it is, evening, depending on the time zone.